2016 Franklin High School presidential debate. The last debate of this long, hard campaign season, live from Mitchell Hansing's basement. My name is Mitchell Hansing, and I'm honored to be hosting this debate. I would like to welcome our candidates to the stage. Secretary Hillary Clinton.
Thank you, sir. It is my pleasure to be here. Remember to vote Hillary.
Now on to the Republican nominee, Donald Trump.
Thank you, Mr. Hansing. Honored to be here.
As a reminder to the crowd, there will be no cheering allowed, and to the Trump supporters, no fist fights. Now, we will start this off simple, with an issue that has been debated throughout the whole school for the past few years, dress code. Secretary Clinton, what is your ideal dress code for this school, and how would you implement and enforce it?
What a great question. You see, Mitchell, dress code is a very important issue in the schools of today. I believe that the teachers of the school should be able to determine if something is far too provocative. No exceptions should be allowed. If a teacher thinks something is definitely inappropriate, then it should be punishable. Multiple warnings should be given. Boys shouldn't be able to just get away without wearing a shirt in school.
This woman wears pantsuits. Why should we trust her to be able to dictate what we wear in our schools? This is a free country, and the students of Franklin High School should be able to decide to wear what they want. It just starts with school dress code, and eventually you have school uniforms.
We are going to move on to our next question. Recently, there has been some controversy on whether or not we should let students into the Commons on a regular basis. Mr. Trump, your opinion.
Here's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to build a wall. A giant wall that spans across the whole Commons area to keep students from getting in without a student ID. You know who's going to pay for it? The students.
Secretary Clinton, your opinion?
In my opinion, the Commons should be open to Franklin students. Every child's parents pay taxes for them to be able to have those Commons, so why shouldn't the students be able to use it?
I think what my opponent is trying to say is that we should let anybody in that wants into the Commons. Even the students who have a detention record, and those students who seek to ruin the Commons. If we want to preserve the Commons to keep the greatness it possesses, we need to keep the troublemakers out. Make the Commons great again.
Now we are going to have a question from the audience. Here's Brad Tobin. A middle-class, hard-working student from Minnesota Avenue, who is afraid his rights to play games on his Chromebooks will be revoked. Clinton, you have the first response.
Hello, Brad. Your question is oh so important. I think that people like you are the reason our school is so great. I think that we should have educational games incorporated into our school system, but restrictions on dangerous games like Agar.io which support cannibalism.
Well, it's in our Constitution that the American people have the utmost freedom in this country. Students should be able to play games that support creativity, regardless of their educational value.
So you're saying that students should be allowed to play whatever games they want,
Wrong.
and we shouldn't let these games ruin their education. That is absurd.
Wrong.
Alright, let's move on to our final and most important issue of the night. Water bottle flipping. Recently, students have been given 45-minute detentions for flipping water bottles, and this has caused an uproar within the student body. What are your thoughts on this, Secretary Clinton? Well, now that we got that out of the way, Secretary Clinton, you may continue.
Well, I think that this rule is fair because it can be a danger to other students. For example, Jonathan, a boy from Ben Franklin, who was just minding his own business when he was hit with a water bottle. This shouldn't happen, and those who think otherwise clearly support this violence.
So a student who flips a water bottle should get a 45-minute detention. But you shouldn't get anything for having classified test answers on your Franklin Sabres Gmail account.
Trump, please answer the question.
To answer your question, I think it is foolish that a student should receive a detention for simply throwing a water bottle into the air. This is not dangerous, and should not be skewed in any other way.
To conclude our debate, You will each get a chance to convince the students on why they should support you on November 8th. Trump, you may go first.
It's simple, folks. Hillary has lied to all of us. And she will allow troublemakers into the commons where young, innocent students reside. I've been calm throughout this whole debate. Now that should at least get me something, right?
In the end, Mr. Trump is a bad man. He is judgmental and he supports the building of a wall in a high school? This man's ideas are ridiculously outrageous. And in the end, we need a leader that will make decisions for the betterment of everyone in this country.
Well, that's it, students. Now it's your turn to be a good student and vote on November 8th. Good night, everyone.